Curb Your Enthusiasm Season 12 Episode 7 begins with Larry being woken up at 3 a.m. by his cell phone ringing. It's a woman called Gina Grossbard who is calling to inform Larry that her husband Stu has had a stroke. Larry barely knows these people and wonders why she called him. To add to Larry's woes, he's been added to a text chain with Stu's family. He can't just leave the group because they'll see that he left. Turns out, Stu has some requests for Larry and Freddie in the event that he doesn't pull through. He wants Larry to keep an eye on his 11-year-old daughter, and Freddie has been tasked with selling a violin that Jaska Heifetz once played at Carnegie Hall. Larry hates the role he's been given, as he doesn't like children. He visits Stu in the hospital to try to get him to change his role with Freddie's. He goes as far as getting out a flask he got from Freddie to make out he's drinking during the day and is an irresponsible adult. This technique works and the roles are switched. Elsewhere, Larry enjoys a dinner date with a woman called Renee Holcomb, who is an artist who is painting him for her gallery exhibit, and they experience some disappointing key lime pie, arguing with the waiter over a refund, with him arguing that they ate too much of it. They decide to not discuss with the chef and leave. She stays the night, and he goes down on her the morning after, but his housekeeper Dahlia walks in on them while carrying in a stack of towels. She is horrified and starts associating most aspects of her job with the trauma of witnessing the sex act. She becomes less willing to do any actual work while she's there. Meanwhile, Freddie heads over to get Stu to put things back the way they were and resorts to faking a sleep-talking nightmare, which was an idea he got from Larry. Freddie uses this tactic to voice aloud some phrases he might use with Stu's daughter one day. He succeeds in moving things back in his favor. Jeff also uses the dream scheme technique, and it's successful to communicate to Susie that he's far too anxious to accompany her to a textile convention in Raleigh, North Carolina. Jeff ends up on the plane with Susie after Larry inadvertently reveals that he put Freddie up to the dream scheme with Stu, which makes Susie realize Jeff used the technique as well, just as she's dropping off a salad for Stu's wife. Freddie and Larry both turn up at Stu's wife's house and fight over the violin, and it shatters on the floor behind them after Larry attempts to put it back in the case. They are both asked to leave and figure they are free of the task Stu had for them. Dahlia answers the door to Renee, as she turns up to bring Larry's finished portrait by for a sneak peek before it's boxed up and sent to the gallery. Dahlia smirks and is clearly up to something, but what? Larry and Renee turn up at the gallery exhibit and we see portraits of Albert Brooks, Gilbert Gottfried, and Richard Lewis. However, Larry and Renee see that Dahlia has defaced Larry's painting to include Renee's lower abdomen, pelvis, and thighs, making it look like a reenactment of the cunnilingus incident. They immediately leave the event. The episode review. This is a fantastic episode with a lot of laughs, as Larry gets entered into a group chat that infuriates him. Leon and Susie are particularly funny this week, and Vince Vaughn also gets a chance to shine as he tussles with Larry. These two are a fantastic double act and work so well together.